Today I'm gonna try to do another stream because it's Sunday evening and it's kind of fun time to do streams. It's kind of nobody in the co-working space here, so that's perfect. And today what I want to do is to try at what's it called, like analytics to my website. So I have a company website that I'm just using to test different items, and I would like to see like who's coming to the website from which parts of the globe and so on. So that's my goal. I'm gonna be using like Firebase. They have a monitoring or engagement or however they like to call that tooling in there, which is for free. And so I'm just gonna hook it up, see how it works. I haven't done much with it, so this is gonna be a similar train wreck as the other streams, where most of the time I just spend like googling around trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong. But if you like to go on that journey with me, and if that's the kind of thing you like, then you know, it'd be awesome if you stick around. Cool! So, with that out of the way, let's switch to this scene. So, Firebase is like a Google's, I guess, child company or something. And they provide a bunch of nice tooling to set up quick and easy prototypes, but they can scale pretty well as well. They have a lot of awesome functionality, like database, storage and other stuff, hosting. I'm using hosting in this case. And then down here they have these analytics sections. It's supposed to do some sort of dashboard and supposed to show you something. I never hooked it up, so it just have a bunch of zeros. But that's what I'm gonna try to do today. Cool! So, with that, let's go to the code. I'm gonna make it slightly bigger, I guess. This is horrible. Yup, this is good. Alright. Oh, so it's already running. So it's just a basic React app. If we go to app.js, it's just in JavaScript. Normally I would do TypeScript probably, but now I'm doing JavaScript. So, yep, so it's just an app. Oops, sorry, just clicking around like a crazy person. There's a bunch of stuff in it. But when we started out, like npm start, this is just a create React app. So if we look at the package.json, we see these basic scripts that you get when you create React app, plus one extra which I've added, which is a deploy one. So this one runs build, which builds a production version of your app, which is kind of optimized. And then it runs Firebase deploy, which will deploy. I bet I have one of the previous video about like deployments and stuff. But basically, Firebase gives you an option to use their hosting, which for static sites is really good. And by static site I mean you can compile your site to like a set of JavaScript and HTML files and images and whatever. You package it somehow. Like, you don't do that, right? I run npm run build and it's all taken care of. And then I just upload it to Firebase, and Firebase does all the nice stuff for serving it. So they run the actual server that serves that content. They also have a, what's the acronym, CDN, maybe content, yeah, like a network that they make sure that it's like available in different parts of the world with like reasonable speed. So that's, and you get all that, so that's pretty sweet, I think. So let me open whatever's in there. This tab, yeah, perfect. So this is my local host. This is what just runs there. and as I said, I'm using my website as sort of playground, so I have like a bunch of like moving things that do basically nothing, right? You can like try different stuff here. And then I have blockchain stuff. Why am I scrolling here? I don't know. Okay, so the idea is that I would like to know from which parts of the world people are coming to see the site. Yeah, so in order to do that, we need to set up the analytics somehow. And then, because what I would do normally when I would start it, I did look at the docs before, but I would start with the docs. So I'll just go to the docs, and then here under engage, I think they have an analytics section. And then they have nice video, way better than this one, about what it does and what it can do and how useful it is. We gonna get here, I think. But first thing first, well, I guess here they somewhere say that all you actually need to do, get started maybe, is to do this. Get analytics, you call get analytics, and by default it already starts collecting some events or some data. So like whenever somebody comes to your place, it already sends events if you just do these 2 lines of code, or actually a little bit more, but we're gonna get there. But if you want to inject the Firebase project into your React app or whatever your thing that you're building is, you need to kind of set up Firebase in the first place in your project. And to do that, we gonna look how to do that first. Because as I said, I'm already using it, but I'm just using it for hosting. That means that the application itself has no idea about Firebase yet, because I haven't needed it for anything really. It's just that when I package it, the files gets uploaded, but that's all outside the application itself. The JavaScript that runs in the browser, that doesn't know that it's hosted in Firebase, and it didn't need to know up till now. But now, because we want to add this analytics into it, you want to hook it up to the correct project, right? So it hooks it up to this. The thing is that it's kind of really easy to do, and then once you've done that, you have access to all the other tools as well. Like you can do Firebase database, Firestore, sorry, or real-time database storage, all that. So storage is like file storing thing, Firestore and real-time database is data. And it's really powerful because if you, I feel like I'm just praising this thing, but it's kind of nice. That's why I'm doing this. If you do authentication or like all these things, you basically, in most cases, you just don't need backend anymore. You can get away without backend. You just have frontend, which would be your React app or Angular or whatever you like. And that would be talking directly to this Firebase. It would adhere to some sort of set of rules that would govern like protect, like security, and making sure that whatever is you're trying to do on the front end is kind of allowed. And from my understanding, that works only well. That works really well, but it only works well if you're using authentication as well, because otherwise it's kind of hard to like get the proper users. Then you need to have some sort of backend already to kind of provision the users correctly. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a way to do that. Because in the rules you can like look at the authorized users and look at that person, like he or she is authorized or not, and if there is some off claims, like you can think of it as a roles. Like, is this person an admin account? If so, then they're gonna see more, and you can rely on that being true if it's in authentication. That was kind of sidetracked. Sorry about that. But alright, let's look at what I was going to do. Yeah. So when you start up a project in Firebase, you can add apps, right? It can be web, Android, iOS, and I think they have like a gaming Unity thing. But I already have a web one. So So let's look at the config here. There are some stuff which is not important, but then they will basically give you everything you need. So I need to install this, I need to install the Firebase, and then I do some steps. So if we go back to the code, I should be more focused, but I'm not. Boom! I'm just gonna copy this, right? This is gonna add the Firebase library, so we can use it in our JavaScript React app. In version 9 they kind of switched the APIs, so you can see a different way of doing it. Like all the Stack Overflow might reference the old one, which it was quite different. Now it's modular. I think they mentioned that the benefit is that's kind of more lightweight, so you only package into your app when you do the build section. It's just going to package the stuff that you're actually using, not the stuff that you don't need. But for me, the disadvantage that I see is that it's a little bit harder to use, because you need to have all these methods and call them from different places. While in the old way I would just create like whatever, analytics in this case, or database object, and then pass that around and then call methods on it. But now you need to, wherever you need this, you still need to import some other methods that works with this object and pass that as a parameter. I will see in a second, hopefully. Cool, so that's installed. If we look at app, oh yeah, well, let's look what they say we should do. We should do this. So there's this section, the Firebase config, which looks kind of scary, right? It looks like it has some batch of secret tokens that I just leaked. But the truth is, this is not actually secret. So this is gonna be baked into your it's gonna be baked into your front-end code, and that's gonna be shipped to your, whoever's visiting the site client, like the browser or the mobile app or whatever. So it's not secret, this part. A little bit different scenario is if you would do the Firebase admin tool. Like they have an admin access as well, and then that has a similar looking JSON, and that JSON is secret. But this one isn't secret, so that's fine. So I didn't leak anything. And basically we just want to do all of that, right? They already do get analytics here, which is all you need to do to get the to get the base events coming in, from my understanding. So let's see. I'm just gonna take this and put it right here. And where is it? Right here. So this is up.js. So this is your entry point. Like normally in your index.js, like this is the first file that's gonna be ran by JavaScript. Well, let's start actually somewhere sooner. There should be a public folder, I believe. Yes. So again, this is like generated by the Create React app. So that's very standard. So if you don't, I might be saying something that everybody is aware of, but I figured it's always nice to talk about it. So whenever you go to some website, like when we would go to this place, like my website, right? Well, localhost, but we can also go to Beaver Codes, which is the public thing. Whenever you go here, you're gonna get some HTML, right? Some HTML file that's gonna get served to you. And if we look at the code, the HTML is kind of simple, right? It's just this file, index.html. So this is gonna get served to you. But how come it shows that, very beautiful website instead of just this simple file? And the reason is that it includes a bunch of scripts here, and one of them, I'm sure, it's gonna be this index.js. Doesn't come up. Okay. Okay. Well, it's not Bootstrap. It's not that guy. It's not that guy. Right. Now I'm kind of lost. But I'm sure there is some logic that kind of runs the index.js as well. There must be something. Maybe it's a manifesto. Come on. Come on, come on. Let's figure it out. Index.js. No. Oh, maybe it's in package.json. No. Well, I don't know. I give up. It's not important. It kind of prints you this, and somehow it triggers the index.js. Sorry. I was supposed to get this right, but I failed already. And this index.js is, again, kind of very simple. It just does few imports, and then it calls this main React thing, which is render, and you find a document. This is vanilla JavaScript, find a document by the ID, and we saw that in here we actually had a div with this ID, so it will find this thing, and then it will, oh sorry, clicking in wrong places, and then it will yeah, basically replace this or render inside it. I'm not sure, render inside is probably correct answer. Will render this thing, and this is already JSX, so this is React specific, notation that they do, or language, I guess. And then it imports app, and then it starts from, would be used to probably like the app thing. So this is gonna run this code, right? Whenever we do index.js, it's gonna do, here it's doing import app from app. So it's gonna run this file at that point, and then it, does the actual thing and then does something. But the important part is that this whole file is gonna be ran when it gets imported. So whatever we do outside of this component that we are building, the app, is gonna run, and it's also gonna run only once, which is kind of important distinction here, because initialize app has a little bit of, or it's not a problem, it's just you need to initialize it only once, because it's using some kind of global state, I guess, and then it doesn't like it to be initialized more than once for the default app. Yeah. That being said, you don't need to put it only in the app.js. You can provide it any file. You just need to be aware that you don't want to initialize the app inside some component that gets re-rendered, and then this code would be ran every time it re-renders, and it would try to initialize again and again. So that's not good. You could get some errors, I guess. Actually, we can try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. If we take this code, let me see, some component that is being rendered multiple times. Yeah, social link icon. That I have like 5 of them or something. So if we put it here, like imports obviously need to go up here. But we're doing this thing inside one of the components that is being rendered 5 times on the page or something. Let's see what's gonna happen. I guess nothing here. This also seems fine. Maybe I was just talking nonsense. No, I guess it's fine. So you can ignore whatever I said, and you can probably do that with the rest of today. Okay, but still, I guess it's nice to do it in the main place. So let's do that there. It obviously doesn't make sense to hide it there, but let's put it here. I'm gonna copy it again because I lost it. Boom, boom. This is very good. We're not using the analytics, so let's just not do that for now. We don't need a variable here. and it has a bunch of useful comments that I'm just gonna ignore. It's like the read the manual thing, like you just don't do that. Seriously, it would be kind of useful to read those, but then we would learn nothing. Okay, so now it's doing something, right? It's not crashing, at least. And it should be like logging some stuff, probably. I don't know if we can see that. I don't know. Is it calling some sort of analytics stuff? Oh, here, look at that. Calling log event. That's probably it. No, that's YouTube. Whatever that is. No, that's the first chat. Alright, Google Leads. That could be it. Well, it's doing some. Ringcurve is the blockchain. But Google Leads sounds promising. That could be one of the things. Anyways, now when we set it up, I'm thinking maybe we could be able to see stuff here. Woo! Look at that! Users in the last 30 minutes won. So this worked. So we are already like recording some events, which is crazy. And we've done very well, little to nothing. Most of it was just me moving code around and messing stuff up. And, if we go real time, I think it has this cool feature. Yeah, right? You can see, where am I? I think I'm in Norrköping, which is a town in Sweden. It's kind of nice, I guess. And we can zoom out, see where Norrköping is. That's very useful, I guess. What else do we get to see? I think you get to see like what sort of... Well, this is amazing. I think I saw somewhere that you can see like what devices are being used to see the page. No? Audience? No? All users? Well, never mind. So this is kind of cool. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna like deploy this. I'm gonna deploy this to production and see if I can still see that from production. It was a horrible commit name, but who cares? So now I'm running run deploy, which I talked about at the beginning, which is my script here. Deploy just runs npm run build, so it will build a production version of this app, which means it will just package it to this build folder with some nice stuff like all the node modules, public. Oh, sorry, that's somewhere else. Build here. Now it's empty because it's rebuilding it. But it's, I can show it in a second what it contains. And then it's going to do Firebase deploy, which means it will use the hosting. This is something unrelated to the analytics, but it's kind of fun. So let's give it another second. I can talk about what I was about to do next. So next, when the analytics works, which is kind of surprisingly easy, I'm gonna try to record custom event. So you could do, so now we're just getting a bunch of events, like people are looking at the site, whatever. But say you have e-commerce platform or something, and you would like to track whenever people put something in your basket, right? When they're about to buy something, you want to see these metrics, like how many people put stuff in their basket, and you then know how many people actually place the order, and then you can, see the funnel, like where is the people disappearing, and you can track all these things by custom events. So my idea is, well, this is finished, so I'm gonna talk about that just in a second. First let me finish talking about this build. So it built a bunch of things, as you can see. I wonder if we... No, this is unreadable. And all the JavaScript media, it just packaged it and really... Like, the reason why it's so difficult to read here is because it's actually saving space. So that means that whenever you request it from the production, you need to download less data because it just doesn't have any spaces. Well, in this, if you do that over all your JavaScript files, it actually makes a difference. So that's why, it's like that. Yep. So now if we go to the production side, I again don't know how to do this. How to actually differentiate that this is a second user. Maybe if I go... Oh, this is incognito already. But maybe that should work. Yeah, so this is the 5 views. This is kind of 2 minutes ago. That's 1 minute ago. That's pretty much guaranteed to be the production one. Like, if you're brave, you could go to this place as well, and maybe you will show on this map somewhere. But I don't know. Oh, here it says desktop, right? So I can see what kind of devices people use. That's kind of neat. Anyway, so let's talk about the specific events. So we were looking at that, and then on my website I have this kind of funny section with, click me, where you can fight the bot or something. And I'm thinking, I wanna track that somebody clicked this, night mode, right? It's kind of fun thing, and I would like to track that somebody's clicking it. And then, if I understand correctly, you can do that. Okay, one thing first though. I think I read here that you can use some sort of plugin to see what events are being emitted from the site, and that makes it easy for you to kind of figure out if everything works good or not. Boom. You can actually... okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm gonna try to edit on my not incognito mode, and then hopefully we get it in incognito as well. There's the non-incognito one. Oh, it's here. Sorry, just being silly. Oh, cool. Google Analytics was added. Awesome. Awesome stuff. How do I use it? How do I use it? Okay, I guess you don't get to use it in there. But it's okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna do this then. Take the non-incognito version. And let's go to B records. Okay. Let me try to figure it out first, and then I can switch back. So it looked like boom, boom, on. Huh. Oh, is it just in here somewhere? No. How are you using this? Oh, it's in JavaScript console, it says. Let's see. Ooh, look at that! Look at that! So we're getting processing command, event. Alright, this is pretty cool. So you can see what events it's sending. It's way more than I thought. GTM init, I guess that's what we're doing, that's why it's sending. That's pretty cool. So that's nice. Oh, you don't see that. I'm so sorry. I forgot to switch back the seats. I'm horrible at this. Let's see. Do we get to see it in the incognito mode? I'm gonna switch here. Boom. Does this work? By chance? No? Probably not. Yeah, I guess they're blocked from incognito, but I'm gonna show you in the real one real quick. Boom! So this is not incognito mode. And here in a console log, it just, puts all the event out. Like what kind of events it's sending, like in it, or what's in it, what sort of data is in it. That's pretty cool. I wonder if we can see, is China Vape region macroism? That's kind of fun. I wonder if we can see like that it recognizes that it's desktop and stuff. I don't know. TechFire. Oh, here, like my language. Well, that's something already. I guess my screen resolution. Where I'm from. Like which site that it's recording from. That's nice. I bet there will be more useful stuff. But let's get back to the code. And let's try to add that. Oops. Let's try to add that custom events. So where do you want it to go? Yeah, let's go back to docs. So I was saying, let's do this custom event. So it seemed kind of simple when I was looking into it. Let's see if it works. Log events. The docs are kind of amazing, so you can just read whatever you need to. But it seems like you just call log event with the analytics object, and then you can do custom thing, and then with whatever payload you want. I think. So this is example of a custom one. When I say in custom, they're talking about there being some events that are already predefined per different useful things, like for e-commerce and stuff like that. And they would like advise you on what to report. But I haven't looked at that, and because I'm just playing around, this seems easier. So I'm just gonna try to do that. Cool! So first thing first, we go back to the code, to the app.js. We're doing this, get analytics. I'm pretty sure you don't need the app. But it just takes a default app if you don't send in one. Let's see. Actually, let's do this. Boom. And then let's take this guy on the right, like so. Very nice. And mostly we're just gonna watch the console here. Oh, you don't even have a console here. No? Do you? Oh, you do. I'm just being somehow weird. Okay, so we're down. Of course we're down. So we're down because I was just deploying it, right? Boom. So I killed out the server, the development server. Now it should be back up. Looks good, no problems. So that's all good. And now if we look into where that 9 mode lives. 9 mode, boom. Does it show the button? Yeah. So this is where the button lives, the 9 mode thing. Right here, boom, boom. And I guess somewhere is on click here. We're doing some 9 mode stuff. So if we can just try and do that console log. 9 mode stuff. Just to verify that this is the actual code that is being triggered, and it is. Yep. Mistyped as always. Very good. So now we should be able to do log event. It's coming from Firebase Analytics, that's the one we want. And then get analytics. And then it was the name of the event, so we can say night mode. Yeah. And let's do that only if new enabled is true. So only if somebody enters the new if they enter the night mode, not when they not enter the night mode. Oh, you know what? Let's try the actual payload. Let's put a. What is happening? What did I do? Alright, cool. Let's put a new enabled as a body to that event. So you can see enabled, new enabled. Boom. So this is kind of nice. And now if we go back here, and I think they had some events here. No, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So they kind of aggregate data on day-to-day basis, so you don't really get the latest stuff here. Maybe in the real time. Huh. Page view. Event counts by event name. But this my custom one didn't fire it. Let's see. But we don't. That's kind of sucky. That we don't get that. Support for the printing of the events in this incognito mode. But we can. What we can do is look at that non-incognito one again. The reason why I'm using incognito is just that I don't want to expose a bunch of stuff that I have. Like, I don't know. I was just told to incognito if you can. So it doesn't seem to be firing, right? Processing command, processing data event, right? None of these events say my event name. Why is that? It's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. Oh, is it? What did I say? Night mode, right? There's no night mode here. No. Nope. Let's see. This, I'm pretty sure this should have worked. Okay, let's read more docs, I guess. Oop. Well, it's pretty possible that we're just gonna fail in all the things that do nothing useful. But maybe not. Let's not give up just yet. Now let's try whatever they're doing here. Obviously doesn't make sense for us, but it's okay. We can do get analytics here. Boom. And then use analytics here. Select content. I wonder if we're now gonna start fire those events. So if we go back to that browser, yes. Oh, that might be it, because we're looking at the wrong place. Or are we? Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So this sucks, right? It's breaking. It's because I guess this code is being called sooner than we call that initialize part. But it should be initialized there. Right? Because this line right here might run sooner than what we put it in the app. But now when we edit here, might be okay. Let's have a look. Oh, it's still not here. Come on. Oh, I haven't clicked it. I'm just being dumb. I need to click this. Oh yes! 9 mode to undefined, whatever that means. 9 mode enable true. Awesome, awesome stuff. So now when we look into the actual analytics, which was where? Which was here? This is the real-time view. Okay, here we go. Night mode. One person clicked it. And select content. So this works as expected actually. That's pretty amazing. So let's don't stop there. Let's put a few more. So as you now it's just gonna be kind of boring. But I have this build a thing, fun thing, which kind of builds a thing. So you can build that. And then you have this fight with a robot. And I wonder how many people play it all the way, because it has several messages that pops up. So I want to record that as well. So first of all, build a thing. Well, but then I guess we can do get analytics here. Boom. We don't need this. Well, this is pretty powerful. It's kind of very easy to do. Is it builder? Yep. One click. Let's just do that only if they click build it, not hide it. Because it's not obvious that you need to click it again to hide it. Log events. This is kind of very not visual. So I'm just gonna do this. Ooh, boom. Yep, please. Yes, please. Boom. And then build thing. It should work. And then let's add one more to the robot fight. How is that called? I don't remember. I don't remember. Greeter. Is it Greeter? I think it's Greeter. So it's kind of fun. How does this work? On mouse over. Haha, yeah, here it is. So here it starts invading, and then right here it will say that it wins. So let's log that event. Oh, this is so cool. Just gonna be using it everywhere. So bot one. Cool stuff. So now, if we, well, I guess let's try without that. Is this the incognito one? Yeah. Let's try if it works here as well. It should work here as well. So we don't gonna get it here, but if we say build a thing, I wonder if we already got it here. No. Maybe not. Yeah, it was when I was reading the docs. It was saying that it tries to group. Oh no! Look at that, build a thing. Nice. And then we can do. What did I say? And then the last one is kind of mood because it's probably gonna work. Huh. Cool. So now it should have recorded the event. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe it takes a little bit. Took a little bit while before that. When I was saying, and oh no, build a thing, bought one, awesome. So this kind of works. What? I can even see, what did I see? No, page location, it's not. Session, maybe? Oh, there's so many things you get to. This is scary good. So good. Okay, anyways. This is analytics. It's amazing, clearly. It was way easier than it looked. It still took me like close to an hour to get it sorted out, but it was just because I'm being not that bright. But overall, this is a really nice tool, I think. And now I'm gonna track stuff. It might feel kinda not nice to track when the people come to your place, but it's very useful in some cases, right? You can, it's like any other technology, you can use it for good or bad. Like, as long as I'm not, selling this data or doing some nonsense with it, it's kind of nice to know where people are coming from. So if I maybe see people, many people joining from Czech Republic, which is my home country, I can choose to have like a flag to translate my stuff, right? To translate the page to Czech language or something. I don't know. Anyways, this was me just playing with the technology. I don't plan to use it for anything useful, really. But yeah. So this is fun. Thank you for watching, if you have been. And then, yeah, there's still time for like last questions, I guess. There's this fun delay. Whenever I say that, Twitch's gonna stream that a few minutes later. So even if you, hear that, it might be that I'm already like pressing, it's kind of weird. Anyways, so I'm just gonna kill the stream now. It was fun. I will upload it to YouTube again, to all the other videos, so they're not lonely. And yeah, well, bye!